Good morning. It is Wednesday, March 6th, and this is Michigan Mornings from Ave Maria Radio and the Ave Maria Radio app. I'm Matthew Handley. Coming up, Al Kresta shares more from Archbishop Allen Vigernon new document on gender identity. But first, your local weather and this news. A huge industrial fire burned Monday night into yesterday in Clinton Township. Macomb County Executive Mark Hackle says it took a while for firefighters to get access and get the fire tamed.
Bigger concern right now is obviously they're taming the fire, but now what's going on with that air quality, the concerns they have in there. We have a hazmat unit that's out trying to test the air quality so we can give further updates not only through the media but directly to the public as to what's happening.
The fire was at a distribution plant at 15 Mile Road and Groesbeck Highway, and explosions were heard often from the flames. At least 8 different fire departments fought the fire that started around 9 p.m. on Monday. There have been concerns about pollution in the drinking water because of that explosion, but officials say the water in Macomb County is safe to drink. Clinton Township Emergency Management Coordinator Paul Brower says the water for the county comes from a facility a long way from the area affected by the explosion. Jury selection began yesterday in the trial of a man whose son killed 4 students at Oxford High School. Here's News Nation's Kelsey Kernstein.
James Crumbley's defense attorney, they've already tried to get the trial moved to a different county. They've tried to bring in jurors from a different county. Neither of those tactics worked, and the judge rejected that request. So the jury selection could be a bit unpredictable here in this process. Some legal experts say that it could take several days to find a fair and unbiased jury. In Jennifer Crumbley's trial, however, the jury selection process lasted 2 days. James Crumbley is charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. That is the exact same charges that his wife faced in her trial. And she was also convicted on all 4 crimes.
Jennifer said her husband was in charge of storing firearms in their home. President Joe Biden is reportedly visiting Saginaw next week. Reports say Biden will attend a campaign-related event on March 14th. However, his staff has not yet confirmed that trip. The visit will be the president's second to the state this year after a visit with the UAW in February. The president easily won the Michigan presidential primary, despite 13% of voters selecting uncommitted as a form of protest over Biden's support for Israel in the Israel-Hamas war. Synodal listening sessions are underway in the Diocese of Saginaw. Bishop Robert Gruss was in attendance during the session at the cathedral on Friday.
Many people tend to view the synod as an event, something that we're going to do one time, or maybe a project because it's going over multiple years that will move from this event we did in the diocese to an event at the USCCB to an event at the global level. But I think the Pope's been pretty clear that he sees this as a way of being church.
That's Don Bulchowski, coordinator of evangelization for the Diocese of Saginaw. He said he hopes that what is learned from the Synod and Synodality will continue to be put into practice by local parishes and the overall church. You're tuned into Michigan Mornings from Ave Maria Radio. Your local weather's next. Now this.
When I was in college, I ended up having a lot of questions about my faith, and I ended up leaving the church. After a series of personal tragedies, I really felt a need to come home to a church, and that's when I came back to the Catholic Church. I never realized before that we get, at every Mass, the Old Testament, the New Testament, the Psalms, and the Gospel. I never realized before it's all biblically based. The Catholic Church is based on the Bible. This is the church that Christ started, and we practice all the sacraments as he gave them to us, and I think that's important. I love getting up and going to church. I love going to Mass. I feel like I get to go to Mass, not like I have to go to Mass. The joy, I have joy in my spirit, I have a lightness in my spirit that I haven't had before. I love the Catholic Church with all my heart, and I can't imagine my life without it. My life is totally different now.
If you've been away from the Catholic Church for whatever reason, we invite you to take another look. Visit catholicscomehome.org today.
In the Motor City today, it will be much cooler and mostly cloudy. Temperatures reaching the mid-40s. Tonight will be mostly cloudy with lows in the mid-30s. Tomorrow will be mostly cloudy with highs in the upper 40s. Friday will be cloudy with rain likely in the afternoon, highs in the lower 50s. Saturday will also be a rainy day with temperatures only reaching the lower 50s. In Saginaw today, expect mostly cloudy skies with highs in the mid-40s. There could be some gusty winds throughout the day. Tonight will be clear with lows in the lower 30s. Tomorrow there will be mostly cloudy skies with highs in the upper 40s. Friday will be cloudy with showers likely in the afternoon, highs in the lower 50s. And Saturday will be cloudy with a chance of showers in the afternoon, highs in the upper 40s. Al Kresta shares a bit from Archbishop Vigernon's The Good News About God's Plan.
He said, when St. John Paul II began his teaching on the human person and sexuality, which we now call the theology of the body, he started at the beginning. That is, he started in the creation account, the first chapters of Genesis. Quote, "Then God said, let us make human beings in our image after our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, the tame animals, all the wild animals, and all the creatures that crawl on the earth. God created mankind in his image. In the image of God he created them. Male and female he created them." End quote. Well, first among these truths from Genesis is that we're not byproducts or accidents. We are created. We are intended. We are chosen. We are willed. And because God is all-knowing, we were chosen from all eternity. So from the beginning of time, you and I were willed into being by the God of all creation. And for this reason, even today, parents are co-creators with God in the work of bringing new children into the world. Secondly, we're not our own creators. Our coming to be happens outside of ourselves. So life is a gift. It's not our own creation. It's a gift given to us without our choosing, without our earning it. We can only receive it. And this means that we're not the author of our own lives, nor do we have limitless autonomy over our own lives. Quote, "Male and female he created them." This line in the creation account reveals to us that our sex is willed by God at our creation and given to us as a gift. God willed that human persons would be either male or female. Sex is assigned not by a doctor, not by the parents, not by any individual, but genetically and biologically by God in the act of creation.
Kresta in the Afternoon is today at 4 on Ave Maria Radio and the Ave Maria Radio app. St. Theophilus of Antioch says God is seen by those who have the capacity to see him, provided that they keep the eyes of their mind open. Thanks for joining me on this edition of Michigan Mornings. That's going to do it for me today. I'm Matthew Handley. You can stay connected with me on X at Radio Handley. And Lord willing, I will be back tomorrow. And until then, goodbye.